Good morning and welcome to the AM News with me, Peter CBD. In our first story, the Economic Community of West African States is demanding an immediate release of a timetable from the military regime in Burkina Faso towards the return of the country to constitutional rule. Burkina Faso will remain suspended from all ECOWAS activities with further sanctions in the offing if the demands are not met. This is contained in a communique reached by member states after an extraordinary summit called by the regional bloc to find solutions to the security concerns in the sub-region. President of the ECOWAS Commission, Jean-Claude Cassiburo, who
as you know, there was a coup attempt in Guinea-Bissau, and the authority firmly condemned that and also gave full support and solidarity to the President Umaru Sissoko Embalo, who was able to really manage to restore the situation, and also the stabilization force in Bissau to help in maintaining the stabilization of the country. So this is something that we will do very, very rapidly to ensure that those type of attempt of a takeover by the military by force really is not true.
Or that such girls do not drop out of school. According to the GES, the dropout rate of girls keeps increasing as teenage pregnancies surge in many of the regions in the country. Speaking of the distribution of laptops to junior high schools, teachers in the Central Region, Regional Director of Education, Martha Usu Ejiman, suggested more should be done to ensure pregnant girls stay in school until their delivery date and should be supported back to school after.
Dropout rate of girls. In the Central Region alone, nearly 11,000 teenage girls got pregnant in 2020 alone, a figure that has left many worried. At the distribution of 8,973 laptops to junior high school teachers in the Central Region, Central Regional Director of Education, Martha Usu Ejiman, indicated a collaboration between
the region and the boys, and we are sensitizing them. When they deliver to, they come back and continue. If they get somebody, parents should take the babies and take care of them whilst the young mother attends school. So we are sensitizing, and last year there were a lot of activities to educate collaboration between the home and the school. But you know, most of the schools, all the schools are there so far as the basic level is concerned.
District Director of Education for Abra Sebu Kwamankese, Justina Apple, one recipient of the
ICT functional. There is the need for the provision of the needed facilities. My question here is that who is responsible to provide, protect, maintain ICT facilities? I'm taking this opportunity to urge all teachers and also learn out of it.
The laptops were distributed to teachers of the junior high schools after their counterparts in the senior high schools in the region were said to have received theirs. The Ghana Education Service is assuring a lot is being done by government to shore up the ICT infrastructure in the country's schools. Reporting for Joy News, Richard Kwejinyako, Cape Coast.
Deputy Minister for Local Government, Martin Sakosa, has reiterated his commitment towards improving the standards of education in the area. The legislator, after providing financial things, ameliorated the difficulties parents go through at the start of each academic year. There's more in the following report by Anas Sabit.
Each year, scores of people who are aspiring to further their education gain admission in various tertiary institutions across the country. To help address this foreign menace, the Member of Parliament for the Techiman South constituency, Martin Sakosa, has established a local scholarship scheme to aid brilliant but needy students in the area attain their academic dreams.
This program is part of our commitment over the years. In 2018, we set up what we call the Teachers Awards program, where we reward deserving teachers and non-teachers. This exercise today is to also give a push to the students who need support to be received from them for support from schools. The number over 320. Yes.
The move, according to the Member of Parliament who doubles as the Deputy Minister for Local Government, forms part of efforts to enhance education in general within the Techiman area.
We all agree that we are in the education age. To have a sound educational life or to sound life today, one must have that a lot of focus must go to that sector to be sure that people who really desire to be in school are given the needed support to be in school. And so it's just due to the premium or importance that we place on education and the fact that we want our bread, of course, Techiman as a whole.
However, admonished parents to ensure that they contribute towards keeping their walls in school to help shape their future.
I believe any parent who dissuades their child from being in school may be infringing on their human rights and to a larger extent the laws of Ghana. And so we keep sensitizing and educating people
that the scholarship scheme will contribute immensely to their successes in life.
It means a lot to me. For instance, our school, if you are owing, you will not see your results. Up to now, I've not even seen my results, whether I've passed or failed. So, because of this, it has helped me very much, and it's good.
To SS, it's not easy. I struggle a lot before I'm able to, complete SS. So, Honorable able to help me to, receive something that I can use to support myself in education. So, I'm much appreciative about that.
Reporting for Joy News, Anas Sabit, Techiman.
The Ghana National Association of the Deaf wants government to legally recognize the Ghanaian Sign Language as the official language of the hearing impaired. Communication of the hearing impaired. The group is also appealing to the Ghana Education Service to ensure sign language is incorporated into basic school level curricula. Emmanuel Bright Kweku has more.
That is Kakra Ankobia, project coordinator of the Ghana National Association of the Deaf. He is not deaf, but has learned.
I know he didn't understand what I just signed. Most of us are just see the deaf people, we see them moving their hands, and we seem to think that it's just some gestures they are throwing around, but they are communicating. The deaf person cannot learn Hausa. The deaf person cannot learn Dagbani. The deaf person cannot learn English, but you can learn sign language.
Most developments, according to the deaf community, communication still remains a major hindrance and negatively impacts their access to quality education, employment, and healthcare. Marcos Stanley Nyako, a lecturer at KN University, and Emmanuel Asumedu, an entrepreneur, are amongst the over 110,625 deaf people.
Lecture. I have two interpreters that I use. So I stand in front of the class. One interpreter stands in the middle of the class. One interpreter stands at the back of the class. Even though on my resume it shows that I have done this work for a very long time, and they could even call my former boss and contact him. Still,
accessibility to quality education for children with hearing impairments in Ghana has become a mirage. Director of the association says it is imperative for the country to recognize the Ghanaian Sign Language. Juventus Durina is executive director of the association.
The Ghanaian Sign Language should be accepted as the official language for the deaf people. This is because on education, if Ghanaian Sign Language is being recognized as official language, there will be a instance. If sign language is recognized today as a language, it means that deaf people can go to their school in their neighborhood. It means that government will have to provide interpreters. So then the inclusive education policy will not come to play.
From Kumasi for Joy News, Emmanuel Bright reporting.
The Parliament Chief of Bandai in the Northern Region has Pandai Wura Nana Bresam Okre Otoso II has also given an ultimatum to chiefs in his traditional area to acquire ICT skills or risk losing their stools. Omingtira has more in the following report.
Pandai, the capital of Pandai district, is one of the deprived communities in the northern region. Deprivation is so real that imaginary ICT lessons are held at Source of Hope NGO, a computer laboratory equipped with internet and a library have been donated to the community. The chiefs and people met the news with ecstasy. The paramount chief of the area, Pandaira Nanabre Siam Okore Atosa II, is asking the 52 members of the Pandai Traditional Council.
A computer lab in the town. Why don't we run to go and learn how to do it?
He has prescribed the dress code for chiefs attending ICT lessons.
One will have to be in a tie, clean dresses, then you enter there. But you should be neat. No dirty person is allowed to go there.
According to the Pandaira, not only is knowledge in ICT proof of any ICT illiterate candidate nominated for chieftaincy position.
Formally, we put people who are not educated and they can't read, they can't write as chiefs. But this time, we have learned so much that getting this computer, nobody would like to stay back. You will learn it. We have half of them, they've been to school somewhere, and then because of money, they drop out. Date of the chieftaincy.
For officials of Source of Hope, the desire by the elderly to embrace and acquire ICT knowledge means their target has been achieved. Fred Osei-Yeboah is Vice President of Source of Hope.
For us, we've achieved what we want to achieve. Because if the elderly are embracing what we've done, can you imagine what these high school kids and the ones who are near enough to go into universities, the drive that will come out of them.
From Pandai in the northern region for Joy News,
Bidiako has handed over a 2-unit classroom block to the Hachukofe No. 1 and No. 2 basic school in Toko in the Ketsu South municipality of the Volta region. Dr. Asar Bidiako financed the construction of the block after learning that inadequate infrastructure is impeding academic activities in the school. There's more in the following report.
The Hachukofe Basic School was established in August 1961 in Toko in the Ketu South municipality with 6 learners. It now runs a kindergarten, primary and junior high school. The school performed low at the basic education certificate examination. Ernestine Numanyo is the headmistress of Hachukofe Basic School.
Weaknesses of the school: lateness, truancy, lack of textbooks, low BEC pass rate. Then we have another weakness, thank you, which is our poor learning environment, and some of our educational policies are not helping. Behind us is a 6-unit classroom block which is yet to be completed, and I therefore appeal for support for its completion.
Learning of the plight of the school, Dr. Kwesi Asari Bediaku, who stayed in the community when he served in the public sector for decades, decided to help the school. He constructed a 2-unit classroom block furnished with remains, detailed that the intervention was to give back to the community.
It's about 6 months ago when the staff led by Mr. Mesa approached me that they needed classroom in school because where the children were studying there was nothing to go about. Indeed, we came to inspect, and in September we started work. Within 2 months, we were able to complete. We finished them with 50 single tables and chairs. Each classroom, making a total of 100. We provided ceiling fans to improve of ventilation in the classroom in the midst of COVID epidemic. Indeed, not much, but we are praying, also praying for the schools.
The paramount chief of the Aflao traditional area, Togbi Amenyafiti V, eulogized the initiative by Dr. Asari Bediaku. Dr. Asari Bediaku was installed development chief for the Hachiko community under the stool name Togbi Agbeshi I.
And that's it for the AM News. For more news, you can log on to myjoyonline.com. My name is Mapito Sibidi. The AM show continues with Benjamin.